Hello, everyone. Or like the 3 people I think that are subscribed to are all my friends. I think one for sure. I think the others. Well, no. I just want to have some content before I. Sorry, just my pants are all weird. That's better. All right. So what is this going to be titled? Let's think about it. Let me think. Let me think for a minute. Yeah, okay, like Revenge Against the Banks. Let's do that. Revenge Against the Banks. Revenge Against. Basically, a bunch of lies that I was told. And I'll get to that. So here's my revenge. I've shown you the garden already, but this is my revenge, man. To live well is the best revenge. That is a saying. I'm just showing you. There's bird feeders. Can you see the one at the top right there? And then this is like suet. I haven't seen any birds eat it, but somebody's been eating it. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a bird. I got my flags up. I fixed the Irish one. Oh, I don't know if I put it up. I think I did put it up. But the Irish flag was broken when I bought it. I didn't realize. Well, it wasn't broken. It just needed fixing. And, yeah, so here we go. The Irish flag is smaller, literally. But that's kind of by population. It makes sense, actually. Yeah, okay, let's look at it that way. Flowers looking good. I put 4 more lights to kind of backlight them. They're solar powered. This is also how I'm trying to live now because, oh my God, it's free. These things were like each 4, 7. I just made a super Korean sound. Oh my God, that's cool though. I like that. All right, this is also solar powered, but these are garbage. I got these for $7. They turn on for like, I don't know, 30 minutes at night. This guy's doing well. I got to repot it, but they said if I repot it, there's a chance it won't flower. So I'm just going to leave it like that until the end of the summer, and then I'll repot it. All the flowers are doing pretty well. This guy, I can see this. Hold on. This thing zooms in, and it's like, oh, you can just press a button. Oh my God. This phone is amazing. Let's get closer. Right, so I don't know why it's dying. I think it's being poisoned. It appears to be poisoned. It gets plenty of water, and it's right next to the sump, which is just water. It's gray water, I guess. Or maybe no, it's just water. That is not just water. That is definitely not just water. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'll give it some Miracle-Gro or some shit later. Try to see if we can save it. Plants are super resilient, of course. Grass. Holy shit, I could talk about grass for a long time. So what is this about? Right. I think that's a nice view, isn't it? Yeah. Those are my 2 mains, man. I just got the British flag because, I guess it's technically British, but British is kind of like imperialism. I mean, I know England kind of started the British Empire. Well, they absolutely did, not kind of. But I don't know. They're different countries, man. I'm not sure why they're together still. I mean, can't they just be like, okay, let's be super economic partners and just... Okay, moving on. I'm thirsty. Hold on. Okay, this is Revenge Against the Banks. I'll get back to it. I'll just have to remind myself. This is my way of speaking. It's roundabout. So I left... Okay. Can you see it? Oh, yeah. So that one, whatever, bird feeder is what it is, was on that tree, but it started to bend off over time, so I think it was too much weight because it's just a sapling. So I took it off and I put it in this tree, which is it's got about a 2-inch trunk, which is a lot more than you can say for that one. By the way, just doing a little bit of gardening, you start learning and you read a package or something. So you measure the age of, I mean, it's quite intuitive, but you just don't think of it. You measure the age of the tree from the bottom because it's what grew first. I mean, it is pretty obvious, but I mean, we're not all botanists, tree people. Anyways, so I left. What's the word? Forestry experts. How about that? That's better. My buddy Jeff Wang. I don't know if he ever went into forestry, but he's a smart man, but he's just, I grew up with him and, we're still in semi-contact, but he's under lock and key. He's His missus is pretty. And this is what I hear. I don't have any evidence, but this is what I hear from people closer to him. She wears the pants. Let's put it that way. So yeah, okay. So I left the feeder there. I'm like, that's easier for the birds to get to. And then I was just like, came out today. It was gone. And I was like, birds are not the only animals that are living in this neighborhood. So I was like, oh, somebody just ate it all. And there's like a couple bits of plastic in there. I'm like, fuck. I hope they didn't eat the plastic, but it wasn't around. So I was like, okay. And then, anyways, I found it there at that gate. So something tried to drag it in through there. Probably a rat. So actually, yeah, it must have been a mouse. Couldn't do it. It's too heavy. Well, several mice, giant ants. I don't know. Yeah, I've had a few puffs. It's good though. I worked 3 hours today. It was great. None of my students were ready for the midterm. Oh my god, it was. Anyways, that's a whole other story. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm getting better at shortening and doing less tangents, but tangents are what make things interesting. Oh, you don't want to see my legs. It's not good. Solar panels doing well. Okay, so this big box, you're like, what is that? It's a fire table. I'll show you when it gets set up. I'm gonna do it today. Gonna put all the topsoil in too. Just kind of shore it up. That strawberry plant is in distress. I have to do something about that. I need some twine, I think. Oh, Revenge of the Banks. Okay, so basically, yeah, this actually is everything, right? So, like all this is my little personal revenge. I went to the bank and I have a couple business ideas. They're coming to fruition, but, there's no rush. There's just no rush, so I'm not going to rush. They're solid ideas, and they'll be very lucrative if I execute them. This is one of them, of course. Although this is not so much to make money as it's just like, I don't know, it's cool. Like I got this phone, Samsung S9 Plus. Put it on your list. It's $1,200 odd dollars. It is expensive. Hopefully your country doesn't have high taxes like Canada. But the high taxes are great because, look at this, man. Like, look at the sky. It's beautiful here. You should visit Vancouver. You just put that, like Rome, Italy, yeah, that's pretty cool. France, Paris, everywhere's pretty cool. Everywhere's cool. But this place is beautiful, okay? Some places are cool. Some places are beautiful. Some places are scary. Some places are interesting, and some places are all of those things. Many places are all of those things. Maybe every place. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, you got to come in the summer. That's my advice. Or the spring. But make sure we're having a nice spring. So therein lies the problem. Not April. April's just too dodgy. May, we're having a great May. Not always the case, but usually nice enough. You get a couple weeks in there. But if you're coming for a week, depending on what kind of money you're doing, I recommend 10 to 14 days for any vacation. A week's just not enough because 2 of those days of travel, no matter where you go, unless you're going an hour away. Yeah, so back to the point of the story. I'll show you later, but I got a 4K TV. I got the Alexa going. Actually, it's not. Oh, I have to get that going because my internet. That's a whole other thing too. But I changed companies, and they seem like they know what the fuck they're doing, frankly. And the other one did not, and there's only 2. It's virtually a monopoly. A biopoly. Is that a word? Well, that's the case here. I went to Bell, who just does my phone service, and they're really good. I like the way they run their company, be a smart consumer. Be a smart capitalist, okay? You don't have to agree with the tenets of capitalism, but capitalism has been perverse as every other thing we invent, okay? Not just political systems. Everything gets perverse almost immediately, it's human nature, and we just gotta fucking deal with that. And just be like, okay, it's gonna get perverted by some people. And perverted, just look up the word if you don't really understand the way I'm using it, because I'm using it correctly. Yeah, so, okay, going on. Yeah, can you see the bonsai tree? This definitely can zoom into that. Yeah, there it is. You see, I got a little Buddha there. I think I showed that in another video. And that's my PS4 dock. You can see the controller there. So I got that, $30, and it's nice, and it's a great place. And we're just keeping it on the table, willy-nilly. willy-nilly if you watch the Ricky Gervais show. And if you don't, you must. It is so good. It's free. It's on YouTube. Of course, YouTube is an amazing service. And obviously, there's people who've perverted it. Like this, what's that dude? I don't know. I'm too old, man. I'm 33. Logan Paul or Frank Paul or something. No, Frank Paul makes the monkey stuff, I think. He's pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't my style, but it was popular when I was a kid. Not Bathing Apes. I don't know what that is. I think it's a company. I know that rappers like it. Oh, shit. Sorry about the finger. I was distracted. Okay, yeah, 4K TV. I got a gaming PC like a year ago. I barely use it, but it's beautiful. It's just I use it for computer stuff. I don't game. I'm just a console peasant, man. I love it. PC Master Race, you need to take your dicks out of your own asses and stop fucking yourselves. Oh man, that was a cackle and a half. But it's true, like just hate it. Like, even people who are so united just hate on a subsection of people who have the same true beliefs. Like, video games are the next huge thing. They're already huge. People don't understand them due to age and interest, but the age I'm at now, my generation grew up with legit, like from Atari, which is pretty old, and it was good, but it was like, it was basic. And then you get Nintendo, and the game starts changing, Like, look at Nintendo. So, ooh, I meant to buy some. It's a bit low. I'm going to buy some, but I need to sell. Okay, never mind. I'll figure that out later. Yeah, new laptop. Here's a hot tip, as the kids say nowadays. I'm not too crazy about it, but it is a hot tip. It's not a life hack. Stop saying that. You're not hacking. You're not, it's just, you thought of something that works, okay? Just say a good idea, please. Or be more specific. Good is a lazy word. As you can tell, I'm an English teacher. Good is lazy. Sometimes, it's appropriate, but just don't use it lazily all the time. Oh, how good? Are you tired? Are you good? Are you fine? Different words. Try to use different words. Expand your lexicon. Lexicon is one of my favorite words. Defenestration. Look that up. Defenestration. Specifically the defenestration of Prague. Yeah, it means, I'll just tell you. Fuck. I want you to do things for yourself, but also for the sake of, saving you a bit of time, because you already listen to me drone on, so. Oh, fuck, I'll just get to it now. Defenestration means to throw a human out of a window. It's pretty dope. We're not throwing humans out of windows, but that's not cool. Unless the window's like 2 feet and you have just cause, I guess. And don't throw him through the window, throw him out the window, and he won't get hurt. And he'll know something's wrong. And why do I say he? Because, because let's face it, men are pretty much the cause of all these problems that we have in the world. All of them, almost all of them. I think men are something responsible. What is a good number? Let's call it, I don't know, 90%? I want to say 95. But, women aren't perfect either. We're all imperfect. I'm just going to use the stand. See? I'm learning slowly. This is how you should learn. Just be like, how can I do it better? Okay. How can I do this better? I obviously need something to stand it on with this pillow. Okay, watch out for the rakes and such. Same problem. No. I'm having issues here. Alright, fuck it. Back to holding it. See? It doesn't work right now. I'll figure that out later. Alright. Yeah, so I'm going to try to keep my videos under 20 minutes, because that's a good amount of time that people usually have to watch something. It's like a sitcom length. Where was I? Oh, excuse me. That was necessary. Uh, oh yeah, and then I got like I think I'm reiterating past videos, but whatever. Speaker for the laptop. Um, the Dark Tower Omnibus, which I know I showed, which is gonna be. I haven't even cracked it. I cracked it, but I forgot about it. The Dark Tower series. Everyone should read it. I mean, don't be afraid of Stephen King because people are like, he's a horror writer. It's like, I don't know. It's a book. It's not a movie. It's not going to jump scare you. It's just like sometimes it's graphic. I think it's better. It's graphic. It's kind of like a graphic novel without obviously pictures. But that's what the omnibus is. Huh. Anyways. What? Okay, there's a crow that's living around here. Crows scare me somewhat. Where was I? Yeah, so I got a laminator because I'm a teacher, and that's super interesting to me. And then I got a 15 pack of Sharpies for like $7. I couldn't believe it. And it's all the colors of the rainbow and more. And rainbows are actually all circles. Do you know that? Look it up. And a portable scanner. Oh, I haven't even used it yet. I haven't had time to use any of the shit I've been buying. So yeah, this is Revenge Against the Banks, man. And there's more. There's a projector. What else do I have? Just office supplies, but you need them. Printer, like a small business size printer. You know, it's pretty sickening. 2 years of ink. I don't know. So here's I forgot about the hot tip. See, I do come back to things in my own way. Hot tip is go on Amazon or however you choose to shop online. But you should start shopping online. But it does create a lot of waste, which we need to try to temper, but you need to protect the items. It's a tricky thing. But can we use hemp or something instead? I don't know. Like, you can weave hemp into shit. Hemp is I'll do a thing on hemp versus cotton later. It's very historical and interesting. I wrote a paper on it. Basically, I'd just be saying what my papers told you. I'm not published yet. I mean, this is my undergrad paper, so you don't get published as an undergrad, typically. I suppose you could. It was good, but I was a bit lazy. I got a B plus. It was an A plus paper, but I didn't execute it. So that was one of my faults when I was younger. And I'm trying to fix that. Okay, getting close to 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much all this. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. There is a lot more, but what the fuck? I think you get the point. Let's move on. Revenge Against the Banks. Yeah, so I went with my small business idea. I wrote like a little 4-page thing, like, what do I need? What do I want? What do I have? Education, all these kinds of things. And the dude was there. He's quite young. He was, I put him around my age. I think he was a little younger than me by a year or two. He did tell me his age. A nice guy, and he actually helped me a lot. But I didn't realize it at the time. I took it as a defeat. So I went in there, and he's like, nobody's ever done this before. And I was like, what? He's like, don't people come prepared for, meetings with, like, he's not a bank manager, but whatever, financial advisor of some kind. And he's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. So that was cool. Writing things down is super beneficial. It puts some kind of officiality to it. It's a cultural thing. It's a human cultural thing. It's not just a specific culture. Writing things. Everybody writes, even if they don't have an alphabet and they're not literate. People write shit, man. People make marks and X's and, it counts. Even at the basic level, it fucking counts. It for sure counts. How many people put an X to, like, when they came to America or Canada or wherever they immigrated to back in the day? Because, people couldn't write. Anyhow. Yeah, so I wanted to extend my credits. I had 30G student loan that's getting paid off steadily. That's fine. That's under control. That was to get my master's. My dad had to co-sign for me. I didn't really like that. Just because, like, fucking hell, guys. Just get a bit of trust. Can you not? You're juicing me anyways. It's a common. Okay, this is gonna go over 20 minutes, but I think that's okay. Watch it in bits. Watch it in 20-minute bits. Give your ears a rest of my. I don't know if my voice is nice or not. It's certainly loud. I think it irritates certain people. But if it irritates you, guess what? Somebody's irritated by you too. So Forgive a little bit. Very philosophical strain of thought today. It's the chronics, partly. Man, weed is almost like a panacea. Panacea means like a cure for all things. Like, not literally, but it's close, man. Okay, well, here we go. Hold on. I'll get back to everything. Just give me a moment. This is a topical cream, you know? Here's another. Oh, okay, quickly. Amazon refurbished. This is the hot tip. Amazon just put refurbished whatever you want. It's like somebody's bought it and they found like a very minor cosmetic defect or what have you. And then they send it back to the manufacturer for a refund. They send them a new one that works. But they don't want to just throw that away because there's nothing really wrong with it. So they make all the small fixes. I got an 800. The manufacturer does it. It's not some dude, right? Probably some dude does do it, but probably some woman does do it too. Just give me a pass on the pronouns, okay? So this is a solve for your skin, like burns, whatever, you know. Like polysporin, but with weed. But it doesn't get you high, because the thing people don't understand about weed generally, and I just learned this, and I've been smoking weed since time immemorial, man. And THC is the fun bit. It gets you high. Okay? But you don't have to get high if you don't want to, and you can still use marijuana products, cannabis products. Cannabis. Because there's also CBDs, I think it is. CBD. Yes, that's correct, I believe. Which is the healing part. It's the healing chemical. It's the thing that will fix your skin when you have a pimple or a bruise or, you know, whatever. You name it. I'm not certain about bruises, but I bet it would have some beneficial effect. It's like tea or something, you know, like, you know, tea is a plant that we use for medicinal reasons. Most of our medicines are derived from plants. Like the painkillers that get weaponized into drugs that kill people every day comes from opium, comes from poppy, right? Poppy's a beautiful flower. In Flanders Field, the poppies grow. I'm going to learn that poem by heart. Something row on row, crosses on the crosses, row on row. But it's a poem that deserves to be learned by every human on earth. And not just because it was written by a Canadian. But we're rocking some dope people in this country, everyone. We're rocking some dope people, and as are you. Come join. We're like a farm team, man. And we're just waiting to get into the big leagues. And we're already there, but we're not respected. We're like the fucking Canucks. We're literally Canucks. Canucks is a nickname for a Canadian, like a Yankee is a nickname for an American, or Limey for England. Limey's kind of negative, but actually my dad told me something I didn't know. My dad has told me a great deal I didn't know. He goes, I'm like, does that offend you when people call you limeys? Because it is negative. But he's like, no, not really. I'm like, what? But isn't it negative? And he's like, yeah. It is, but where it comes from is like, you know, it just comes from when people used to get scurvy because, you know, Britannia rules the waves, guys. Britons will never be slaves, guys. Never, never, never will be slaves. Nobody should ever be a slave. Uh-oh. I locked myself out of my house. The keys must be somewhere. They have to be. That's unfortunate. I'm thirsty. They're there. Yeah, it was because, you know, they started packing limes for the citrus because of your diet. All you can really take is, like, hardtack biscuits, which are gross. Look at the hardtack biscuits. You're just like, why the fuck would you eat that? It's basically, it doesn't go rot, like, doesn't go bad. Like, think about a pizza crust that's been left out for, like, 3 days. It would be something similar to that, but baked for purpose. We're in my home now. Yeah, I met a friend the other day, And she lived in a basement suite as well. And she's like, I'm like, so you live in the basement? And she's like, I prefer garden view apartment. And I was like, that is so much better. Let's go with that. And I literally been changing it into one. That's a pretty nice view now. I can live with that. This is all about the banks, by the way. You know that. I gotta put up these fake wasps' nests. I'll do that today. Let's get that ready. You've been waiting in the wings long enough. Fake wasp nests. Yeah, apparently they're supposed to keep away wasps because they're vision creatures. As you know, they have pretty pimpin' eyes. And they go, where do they go? Yeah, so like they're like, whoa, if they see a hornet's nest, and this obviously resembles one. Looks like a Chinese lantern too. It's cool. I had to put it somewhere my dad will not dislike. That's going to be the issue. But anyways, this is a pipe I bought for like $35 in it. I just make money and I spend it the same day almost. Obviously, be careful with your money, but I got credit. That's the one thing I got. Yeah, like it's kind of derivative, but he's called a couple different things. Puff the Magic Dragon, obviously. So, dude, when you smoke it, the smoke obviously comes out of his mouth at the end. It is cool. And he's also Dank the Dope Dragon, Triple D, because Triple G is my favorite boxer at the moment. Gennady Golovkin. He's from Kazakhstan. Those guys can fucking fight. What am I looking for? What am I here for? Well, I was gonna get a drink. I was gonna get something else too. Anyways, Revenge Against the Banks. So yeah, go in there. I'm like, I want more credit, and they're like, well, you already have like 40 grand in credit, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, well, don't I? Come on, man. Don't I get more? I just need a little, get me going money here, because I'm cash poor. But I've been cash poor my whole life, so I'm just getting over it. It's just like, whatever. Just like, and I'm just, dude, I will talk extensively about money. And it'll become clear to you that well, I hope so. It'll become, I just hope you change your attitude towards money. I'm really proud of myself. This ice cream's been in here for several weeks now, as have these popsicles. Ooh, David's been in on those. Oh yeah, a quick word on anonymity. I tried to maintain it in my first one, and then I realized my name was obviously on the account. I'm just going to have to put you down for a minute. I'm going to have to put you down, guys. How about you look at some orange juice? No, it's going to be the table. Oh yeah, I was like, I want to stay anonymous. And I'm just like, you know what? The whole point of this is just be like, dude, this is me or whatever. So fuck it, my name's Andrew. And I'm sure if you want my information, you could probably do some kind of search on me. I don't know if I'm popular enough yet. Or I mean, is my name on the internet? I don't even know. Do you know if your name's on the internet? Am I speaking loudly enough? Because I'm getting kind of whispery. I just made a whiskey, just a little bit of whiskey. I didn't even measure it, but just a little bit. Club soda, orange juice, whiskey with ice. Let's see if it's good. Of course it is, because all of those things are good. If you're like, I'm not good at, I hate this. People are like, I'm not good at baking. I bake a lot. Well, I'll do several things on baking. Or I'm not good at cooking. It's like, have you ever tried? It's like literally 5 steps, and it's just like in front of you. Like, you're telling me you don't have the ability to follow 5 concurrent instructions? Take chicken, wash it, put it in the oven for 30 minutes at this temperature. Add some kind of seasoning. You have a nice piece of chicken there. Let's go. It's not hard to eat healthy. Now that might make some of my friends laugh, because I've been overweight for some time. But I work in pounds because of the American influence on my country, which is something else I want to change. Can we just use the fucking metric system and get rid of all this weird U.S. influence? I mean, people are like, how many centimeters are you? Do you know how many centimeters you are? Everybody does that. Except we do feet, even though it's not an official, system. So it's just like straight up America's just like, you tell me in my way. And Canadians just go, yeah, okay. Oh my God, John Mulaney. Check him out on YouTube. He's one of the best comedians I've ever seen. And he does like that. He has a bit. I'm not going to spoil it because it's good. All right, I think we're all set here. Right. So I went to the bank and I gave that guy the stuff and he's like, whoa. And then he's also like, okay, well, you already have a lot of credit, bro. And I'm like, yeah, but I want more because I wanted like some kind of instant gratification for my successes in education, which I consider them successes. Oh, this is getting long. I could talk for hours. It's one of my skills. It's also one of my detriments because people don't like people who talk a lot, just generally. And I get that. All you can be is cognizant of your shortcomings. Oh, excuse me again. And cognizant of other people's what's it called? Perception of you based on those shortcomings. I think that's what. Does that make sense? Like, I'll just try to make examples for everything I possibly can because I can't really stop myself from doing it anyway. So, um, yeah, cognizant of what they think of you. Like I know, like some people, I just talk too much for their liking. And I hopefully they don't hold it against me, but some people do. But yeah, so I'd never finish a thought. I'm trying to work on it, but right now is a weird time for my brain. The old brain box is a little scattered. Anyhow, I'll come back. I'll probably come back to whatever I missed. Or can you just write it in the comments, like, what about that thing that you started saying and never finished? Oh, the refurbished laptop I got for like it was $880 or something. I got it for like $350. A refurbished $1,500 restaurant quality food processor, $350. Now I have a watch coming that was apparently $1,600 or $2,100, marked down to $135. Now, that is fishy as fuck. I don't understand that, but I do understand that the watch had a nice face, and that's all I really cared about. So I was like, yeah, that looks like a $135 watch at least. So even if they're lying, there's been some sort of error, or I don't know. The company's legit as long as the watch is from that company. It could be an imposter. But, $135. What do I make that in like 3 hours or something? Is that right? Yes. Yeah. No, almost exactly. Yeah. So now you know my wage. Gotta do a tiny bit of math. Oh, I'm trying to get better at math. All right, banks. Fucking banks. Now, RBC's pretty good. But, the banks are controlled in Canada very carefully. And this is for the benefit of everyone. So, this is something this is something I knew, but I didn't, when it came down to my personal, I just simply didn't apply that knowledge. Like, the world financial crisis that kicked off in what, 2008, 9, or 10? And it lasted. The vestiges are still being felt of that mini Black Friday, Tuesday, Monday. There's several black days in the world, unfortunately. Yeah, so anyways, considering that the U.S. was so fucked and that they're our biggest trade partner, we did relatively well under the circumstances. Guess who did the best? Norway. Yeah, you're like, where is that? It's the most outside, most westerly Scandinavian country. And Sweden's next to it, and they playfully hate each other. Cool. And then Finland's on the other side, And those two just kind of hate on Finland. But then Finland's like, you know what? I'm just gonna run my country like a beast mode. This is what I want Canada to do. Like, we're so good, but it's just like we get the muck and the mire of political debate. It's so adversarial. It's just not efficient. Can we just have like a round table instead of standing up formally and like literally shouting at each other and saying like why that person is bad or why that idea is bad? Can we just say like that idea is not ideal for these reasons? What do you think about that? Can you just like, politicians, what the fuck? They're just, it's weird, man. Because they're forced into this arena and then they become a product of their environment, which is adversarial in nature. Now, the good ones are the ones that try not to do that. Like, take Barack Obama, man. He tried to kickstart the U.S., and he did in some ways. But nobody's perfect, man. He tried his best, and everybody tried to stop him. But he's still got a lot of important shit through. Again, he's a man. He's an imperfect being, as are we all. So let's not expect perfection. Let's shoot for it. And then let the chips fall where they may, So, yeah, bank. So he was impressed, but then he was like, dude, you already have 40 G's in credit. Like, I can't really give you any more because of you make 55 a year. And the balance there is already pretty much pushed. And I was like, yeah, but like, fuck, man, I can pay it back. My credit is excellent. That's what you need, good credit. Pay your bills, guys. On time, punctually. It's your first priority above rent. No, I'm not above rent. What am I talking about? Keep your roof over your head, first priority. Keep foods in your belly, second priority. Make sure you have clean water. That's actually the first one. And then pay your bills and live within your means as best as you can. Your credit will grow, and then you can use it to slowly kind of grandfather in the life you want, But if you have bad credit, people don't trust you. It's trust. That's all that credit means. The whole economy, global economy, runs primarily on confidence. Now, what's happened to capitalism is it's no longer capitalism. It's, and perhaps it never was? I don't know. It's neoliberalism, which is a whole thing. It's basically a perverted form of, like, not caring about people and only caring about money, which is several corporations. Apple and Starbucks recently with all their shit. You name them. You name them in the comments or something. There's tons of them. Just don't do business with them. There'll be plenty to come on Apple. Plenty to come on Apple. They're not a good company, man. They don't treat their consumers with respect, simply. And the whole world comes down to respect. Almost everything does. Respect, trust, honesty. And everything sort of derives from there. Power, influence, strength, money. Okay, everyone's so fucking concerned about money. So concerned. It's so unhealthy. Like, wow, what?